Recording has started and stream begins in 3, 2, 1, and we're live. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to episode 12 of the Point Gremlin podcast. I'm Delirium, otherwise known as Alex. Joined with me today, as always, is my co-host James, otherwise known as Jonas the Red. Today we're doing a little bit of a more fun podcast, kind of similar to the way we did the rankings for the game modes. We're going to be doing rankings for each and every single one of the rooms within the map on Battlefield Baghdad.
Yeah, this one's going to be cool. I mean, there's like something like 34, 36 different rooms. You go upstairs, don't go downstairs included. And all of them have their different uses and stuff. But this way we can give like a idea of what's like which one's better, which one's garbage, which one we potentially remove. We're not going to remove any rooms, but like which ones are like what's the point of even this room in general? It's just a fun little thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have your favorite spot you could stand in when you rush off the gate. Some of you guys run upstairs right away. Some of you guys go right in the ghetto right away. So we'll find out who thinks certain rooms are better than others. Really, I think we should progress from like the top, like we'll go from starting from hideout, move across through mansion, go down a step and go from like the spawn down through like the market. Maybe go earlier on the map. What do you think? I think something like we'll do these first and then we'll kind of move on down through the ghetto. And then kind of come up this way, and then we'll do market last. Since market's going to be like a cool part.
Sure. Right,
Cool.
so
We have a little.
Oh,
Oh,
trying to label. I'm blue. Oh my god.
cool.
That is cool. I gotta make this smaller, I think. All right. So starting, I guess, right off with as we're walking in, I guess we'll start from the very top left and start with this little guy here, which is our breach door room. Breach door.
Yeah. The behind it definitely is not a room. That's
Not
where I
real.
keep my lunch.
Yeah, true.
People walk back there all the time. Don't go back there.
Yeah.
I gave that one a D to start off. I don't really find a whole lot of use for that room. Otherwise, it could just be just like you can like Mama likes to stand here, for example, and shoot out, or you should even like stand here and do this kind of angle. But like otherwise, you kind of like had to back up and look upstairs on top of Marketplace from there if you get lucky. But most of the time, we've closed that door to get inside there because everyone trips on it. And starting in a room for a particular game mode doesn't help a whole lot for me.
Yeah, I have the same ranking for that room as well. Big D for me as well. It's got some useful spots like these windows back here, and this doorway can be used to look down the street with a little bit of cover and stuff like that. But I don't. It's very rare that I would go in here rather than going into, let's say, the sniper tower or standing back here instead, or just standing out in the street. I'll do any of these three things first before I go in here. This is kind of more of like a mix-up option. So if I kill a regular down here and I can kind of tell that they're running back to respawn, I'll like switch up from sniper tower and pop into here from one of these other locations just to kind of mix someone up. But I'm not gonna. It's not my first place at all.
No, like some player, I think maybe we could find some new uses for this room. I think there is some potential for like you said, they could mix up. Like there's some couple angles through this window to like shoot up here because they're leaning over this guy right here. They're looking for like to here or like even into the spawn or like along this thing into the I'm not sure what to call this alleyway over here. But you could be in there as well and have them more cover for you, I guess.
Yeah, and it's even got like the problem is you don't even have a great view upstairs because there's the tarps that hang off right here. So everything that's like past this line of sight is just gone. Everything that is just here onwards is just invisible to you.
Yeah, it sucks there.
Right.
Moving on over to mansion, this first room here, like the body room, right? It has the piano in it, it has the table in it and stuff. I don't think it has a table in it. I gave that one like a decent B. I like kind of sitting in that room sometimes. It's a good place. It's a good place to be for UBL, given just because it's the body room. It's like the last room of defense, but it has this problem where it does get flanked pretty easily from sweeps. People do tend to run more into this first room here than they run into this one, but they can still do it. stuff like that. It has a defendable angle, but there's a lot of little corners in this room where you can stand and be in a pretty good spot to defend it from. And also shooting out this window helps as well if it's open, right? Otherwise, the doorway looking. I've shot out this doorway to kill people that are standing up here before. Or maybe it's this window. I'm not sure which one for like
It's
particular game modes.
it's obviously a very important room for game modes like UBL. But I think where this room is actually
Oh,
where this room is actually more usable is from embassy side. So your spawn is on embassy side, and you're using things like this doorway over here to shoot out and kind of as a spawn trap. You can mix it up and use this doorway instead. But I think the problem with this room comes in where the fact that it has so many entrances. So there's an entrance here, an entrance here, an entrance here, and a window here. So there's 4 main hotspots that you have to be looking at all the time. So a lot of times I'll stand like right here when I'm defending in this room, and I have to kind of watch my shadows, watch anything that's possibly moving out here. And if anyone's coming out this way, I have to hear them coming. So it's kind of a tough room. I gave this one a C.
okay. Well, I'm satisfied with that. I'm gonna stick where mine is, but I like the ranking for it so far. It's about where I expect it to be.
Right.
This room's hard to draw. It's a bit larger than you think. It doesn't line up with this one. What do you even call this room?
Uh,
Center Market, Center
Center
Mansion. I mean,
Mansion. Yeah, Center Mansion.
yeah. I gave this one just a hard C. It's a little bit lower of a rank for me.
I gave this room an A.
You like this room?
I think this room is very valuable to the field. Specifically because, one, there's a tube in this room, which is important for several different game modes. The other thing about this room is you have access to a lot of. You can change where you are a lot. So I can leave, I can exit further into this room, I can move forward into this room, I can change, kind of go on an offensive play, and I can see it underneath the balcony, and I have a line of sight into the spawn area. I also have a quick entrance into market right over here, so I can quickly move from this room into retreating back toward my spawn, moving up further into the mansion, getting into the market area, or just using it to kind of shoot down into spawn. The options you have from this room are vast, and I think it covers a very large portion of the field.
So you're increasing my points for it because I didn't realize getting across the street. Like generally, I think of the map as just kind of like these 3 lanes, right? But like, I don't really think of switching between the 2 lanes like that. Once you kind of your mansion, you kind of dedicated to the mansion. That's one of the places where you could switch across and move over to the market if you're quick enough. But sometimes there's like this garbage in a way right here. What they're trying to do with that garbage, right, is to try and slow down people that are moving so quickly down the street. If that's there, it helps them. Otherwise, it makes getting like a little bit of cover around this area useful. If that's in the way, it makes it hard to do that switch between. But otherwise, like the room is just like you can use that window sometimes for me to shoot this way. It only like it works that one direction. I don't really utilize it when going this way. I'm starting over on this side of the map. That's but the tube's important, but I wouldn't like be in that room to defend that tube. I'd be further up in the mansion, maybe in the patio or in the next room, or I'd even leave it all together and come out and like help out in the market. I don't really sit in that room for very long.
A big piece of value for this room comes from the fact that you're able to move from room to room so easily. So if I'm sitting in this room, and I will normally to start off be gunning down the street like this, because it's just kind of the first thing you do when you get to a room is kind of establish lines of sight and start farming your kills from that location. Uh, so here you can start farming your kills from looking down the street, and you can even see into the North Embassy side here. And once you see that you get a high value kill, you kill a regular, someone like that, and they come back and they know you're here, you have several different options in front of you. You can wait here and like sitting in this corner, or something like that, wait for them to enter the mansion from the patio. You can retreat further back to kind of wait and see if they are like coming to the room shooting or something like that. That way you hear where they are. Or you can move in further and kind of catch them off guard from the patio spot. Or if you even want to just mix them up completely, you can just go into market a completely different area and maybe sweep around behind. Or the options are ever so vast once you get into this area of market as well.
So here you're giving a higher rank, or a very good rank because of its options. It's the center of the intersection here. It gives you choices and just different
Exactly.
ways of giving points to that particular room because we have a different philosophy for it. What do you call this room? You call it couch
Couch.
room?
Yeah, it's couch room right now. Until the couch
Couch room,
moves.
I have a higher rank for couch. I gave it an A for this one, just because for UBL and speaking of the game modes, this is the room where I tend to sit in to defend the mansion from, that I find utilization for. The patio, it has a good access to the patio and kind of like gives you that good reach around for. The room is like oftentimes dark. It has the option up the fun button, or it's right next to a room it doesn't. So you can time your pushes and your defenses and your front with the fun buttons to make it harder for people to see you. It's I just like that room very good for defending a mansion from. And sometimes this window is open, and this window is crazy. I think this window is just absolutely nuts for just getting your kills off of.
Yeah, very rarely is that window open. I gave this room a B. I think it's oh boy. I think it's very similar to the room before it. It just kind of lacks the same maneuverability as the same room. I like this room from a defensive standpoint. So if I'm holding down the mansion tube from the breach door side or I'm defending the body, this is pretty much my go-to room as far as defense because it's very dark in there. There's a lot of corners that you can use for cover, and it's very hard to enter this room without being the first person shot at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's one of the like that's where I learned the importance of the fun button was that specific room. Because right here, right, there's no fun button. The lights is always on right here. In fact, you always have people like staring at you from up here on top of the observation deck, staring at you, watch what you do from there. And if that's the room where you're gonna see the lights flickering on and off. You can time it, right? It's just a really hard room to get in from the mansion for. That's why I leave my ranking isn't much higher than yours. Well, one step higher.
Yeah, I once again I value the maneuverability of the room, and I think just the fact that it has less areas to retreat back to than the room before it kind of takes it down that one tier.
Okay, cool. Patio. Now you have a particular opinion on patio and garden, but we'll get to garden here in a second.
Yeah. All right. So patio, I gave a C. Big C rank for me. I think patio is probably one of the most high traffic areas you can cover. So obviously the big thing with patio is sitting right here, and then your line of sight is just dead across their spawn. You've got the two big blocks. Well, that's not what they look like at all, but they're there. That block your field of view, but you can ultimately see right into the spawn right here. You can more or less see people as they run across this way. You can't see them completely, especially if you're tucked back. So you can kind of get a quick view if people are coming behind you. And you even have a chance to get some pot shots on people that are running through ghetto as well. So you can get a potential kill through that. But ultimately, if you know someone's in ghetto or in patio, it's so easy to avoid them. You either just run through ghetto because it's very unlikely that they'll kill you. They have to be an incredible shot. You just kill them with your 3 seconds, or you just come behind them. The options of killing the person that is right here it's so easy to kill this person.
Mm-hmm.
And the value you get from killing all these players, I mean, it's just a new player farm spot. You're not getting any high value kills. You're not keeping people away from a certain objective. It's just a kill spot.
So this is where our opinions differ a little bit. I would give this one somewhere between an A or a B,
Is that what that
just
is?
because. Yeah, that's what that is. So I'm gonna give it officially a B though. They're much better B. Just because of that power it has through here. I mean, it's not gonna stop a regular getting out, right? But it will stop the hordes of new players. And for one, that does help your team a little bit with stopping the hordes of new players getting out of their spawn. Just because they have some bad reinforcement for some of the main objectives, whatever game mode depending on being. And generally, I hate to say it, but what this sport is a lot is just getting your damn points and getting kills. We're point gremlins for a reason. And that's a great place to be, especially if you're a left-handed player. If you're a left-handed player in the patio, you're crazy with it. That's a crazy place to be for it. It's just a great angle to be. You're very hard to hit. It's just one little. You can stick just your gun and like your eyeball out of the corner there, and you're so hard to see to a new player. You can get so many kills for it. It's very hard to punish for a new player, but regulars can avoid it very easily. That's why I gave it just a little bit higher of a ranking.
Yeah, so I think The thing you should be looking for with patio and I guess as well as garden, the spots that you're trying to cover, the high value spots you're trying to keep people out of, are you're trying to get people from going upstairs, you're trying to defend the staircase, and you're trying to stop people from using this front entrance of market. Those are the two high value locations that you're stopping people from getting into. Well,
Can't really stop
obviously,
them from getting here.
yeah, you can't stop them from going through ghetto, which means you can't really stop them from getting into market because this side entrance is so readily available over here. So the market is, you're not stopping that. And anyone that's using this staircase should be using their 3 seconds to either run out of North Embassy or run out of the spawn area to just shoot you on their way up anyways. So anyone that is readily available to watch this spot or knows that there's someone there already, it's not a spot you can sit in and get your kills against regulars.
No, but if they don't know you're there and you're in that right session, and if they, I guess if they just don't know you're there, you get so many points for it. It's I think that's definitely where my value is for this spot.
I think it's good
Garden, though, is
for
a
a
different story.
kill on a regular and then you have to move.
You do. Oh, he's there. Okay, I guess I use my 3 seconds here.
Yeah.
Be a different spot if there were no 3 seconds for that room.
So garden, I actually take down another tier. I have garden as D tier, garbage, trash.
Hey, you've been on a garden hate spree.
It's bad. If you die to someone in garden, you're bad. I
Yeah, you
mean,
do
garden,
gotta
the
leave.
spot is here. You sit here in garden. What value? So you're gunning down this specific angle. You can cover this, and once again, you can cover this. However, unlike patio, you're unable to retreat into the mansion. If I know you're here, I can respawn and beat you going back in here. There's no way you can escape. You just die.
There is an angle you're missing that I've seen people use. Well, this window right now is closed, my understanding.
It is.
But that is a crazy, crazy window if you're on this side looking this way. Oh, let me get a better.
Yeah, that is a point I was going to mention is that I actually do like the garden more as a defensive spot on the field. I think if you're in Embassy, it's not a bad spot to either linger back here so you can kind of wait for people to use the patio because people love using the patio. And you can just hear them shooting and then you just kill them for free. Or you can wait and watch the flanks of people coming down streets. You can kill pretty easily. People coming around through lower market, you can kill for free. You're kind of covering your back staircase. So in games like New Rules Juggernaut or New Rules Juggernaut's the really big one, but it's got value in other fields as well, where you're covering your own staircase from this very easily defendable position is very valuable.
I'd say even covering in normal Juggernaut, this staircase is much harder to cover from this side of the map because where are the few places you can stand? You could be here, I guess. Here, where I've like started to get people to do. That's a weird little angle to do. Or you can just kind of be here, which gets killed from this, or you get killed and shot in the back from the sweep. This staircase on New Rules Juggernaut is much easier to defend because of this garden.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, agreed. And as a defensive position, you have easy spots to retreat back to. You have easy spots to get into the mansion. These two doors aren't that useful, but you can use them to get upstairs quickly if you need to. You have spaces you can move to if you're using this room defensively. But from an attacking standpoint, from breach door side, this room's garbage.
Okay, so officially mine's the A for the garden. I still really value having just like stopping people and getting out and getting your points. Getting the points in the game is the like a lot of the game modes, right? A lot of the kill based game modes, getting kills is just how you win, and that's farming the new players. An objective based game mode, you're right. This room fucking sucks unless you're playing New Rules Juggernaut.
What game mode besides Sniper or TDM does
Reaper?
Okay, I did forget about Reaper.
Got him.
I can't think of a game besides Sniper, Reaper, or TDM that this room would be any use offensively.
So for kill based games too, but UBL is also a good place for it, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, generally you're right. But there are some kill based game modes, and depends on what kind of regular you are. That every game mode's a kill based game modes. Is Hell's Bells a kill based game?
Yeah.
Are we really going after the bell in Hell's Bells? It depends who you ask.
The patio's got to be just so much better because you have a place to retreat into.
Yeah, so I'll give you that. It is for me. Just a little bit. I'm gonna reconsider my numbers here, but now I'm gonna leave it an A. Is this pot right here garden, or is that Embassy North?
I think that's part of Embassy North.
Okay, so that we'll move on to that in a second.
The other another quick thing about garden is even if you think like you kill me here and I'm coming back to respawn, I don't actually need to enter this area to kill you. I can see you from this sniper tower because you're pinned right here, and if you're moving this way, I see this door perfectly fine. So if I see you try and retreat into this doorway, I just kill you from the sniper tower. I don't even have to enter the street to
Wait,
kill you.
you can really just climb. You can see them from here.
You can't see them when they're huddled in the corner, but I can see like this line of sight.
Oh, well, that's like everything. It's exactly about garden.
Yeah, you're. Well, they're stuck. They can't move.
There's a big wall right here. I'd like to knock down. This like not get rid of garden. And yeah, they are stuck in that spot, but they are getting like their whole point of garden is to just farm skills in that spot. And if you just can see them there and you've pinned them down, they're not allowed to move, yes, but they're allowed to shoot forever.
If they can't move, they're gonna die though.
Eventually, but it depends on the situation or how many regulars in a session, who you can work with, what you can do with. I see the points differently. I see the ranking differently in this.
All right, so moving on to Embassy North. I think probably the worst spot in the embassy. I gave this room a C.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're completely different of what we're ranking our stuff on.
S.
Yeah, I fucking love
Whoa.
this room. The sniper tower is super, super valuable. It annihilates so much of the market on top of market, right? And
You
you don't
think
have to
this
cheat
sniper
to
tower is
stand.
that good?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I think you die almost immediately.
I guess I don't have that experience. I get a lot of kills from that thing. Not aiming down the street,
You have
but
to be tucked back.
obliterating
You have to
people.
be tucked back so far, and you have to be gunning down exactly like this line of sight. So obviously, I use this sniper tower to watch for people here. I watch for people kind of rotating between this spot on the top of market.
Mhm. You
And
don't look here at all.
I mean, if someone's popping up here, but I think anyone that pops up here is dumb anyways. So you're not getting any high value kills. Normally you'll get like the regulars like Donnie, Chief, and Zach and Sniper are the ones that use this spot the most. So it's kind of a counter I'll use to that. But besides that, I think this little tucked spot here is pretty good for watching down the street. I use that one pretty often, but normally you'll get like 3 or 4 kills because you're not getting a lot of high traffic. You have just you barely see people. You seem like here, and once they exit this area, they're gone.
Yeah, that is a very thin angle, but it is super useful for getting the people that haven't realized they're back alive and spawn. This window, I think, is really crazy. Honestly think there's something to do with this room right here. I will
Nope.
oftentimes stand here and shoot through this to get people. There's like there's no roof here on top of this room, right? So you can look. I'm sure everyone knows about this one though. Yeah, I like this room a lot. I have spent a lot of time in Embassy North. Embassy South is a different issue though.
All right, so I guess my question would be, what location are you covering from this area? So you're getting pot shots at people in the street, right?
From this one, right?
From just the Embassy North as in general. So more or less, the area you're shooting down is the street area, or maybe if you're in the sniper tower, covering a little bit of upstairs.
Yeah, well, if anyone that moves across here, you can get them from. You can absolutely just get them when they're coming across the street here. You don't get a pot shot on them; you kill them. Is my experience from that.
If they're moving
Embassy,
slowly, yeah, maybe. Anyone that's running with their 3 seconds, they get past you for free.
real? Okay.
If I'm respawning here and I go here, you can't shoot me. No way.
All right, I've definitely gotten them. Definitely kill them.
All right, you're killing new
Like
players.
regulars. No, okay. So people will even like chill right here, right, and they'll still be shooting down. That Embassy North just gets them, right? That little window, and even up there, like different windows you can aim through to get them through. I think it's very powerful for that.
I can't see. I don't think you're covering the mansion area. I don't think you're covering lower market, and you're definitely not covering tower. So I think you're giving up a large majority of the field if you're conceding yourself to this little corner.
Okay. 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 Maybe the ranking does go down a little bit, but I think you're missing it. Well, maybe you just understand something I don't. But maybe that's the whole point of this is that I'm a shitter laser tag player, and you got a lot of thought behind this, and that's the whole point. We can see that where a newer player and an experienced veteran has a difference here with these rooms. I think it's good to have. We'll also have some of the similar opinions, right? For the mansion at least around there. But that's going to be the big one, I imagine. Maybe we'll have some other ones in the future. Are we going to continue moving on this way down to south?
Yeah. Let's skip the spawn room. I don't have any strong feelings about the spawn room.
Oh, I gave it a D.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, you can sit like here or here or something like that, but I'm not going to linger around there for sure. All right.
Cool.
Embassy South, I think, actually holds a little bit more value than Embassy North. I gave this one a big old B.
Big old B.
Big B.
Okay. It's for this for that nice B.
Thank you.
For these two spots, right? I mean, what else is there? I mean, it's a traversal method to get into ghetto, sure, but does that make it a good room?
So you can actually cover quite a bit of ghetto from Embassy South. So this window here gives you this weird line of sight through this room, through this window, and you can see this, which
Yes.
definitely has value to it because the only way to get into tower without going down this line of sight would be to go down the alley. And if you're going down the alley, I can see you down the alley. So from this room, you can actually cover all of ghetto as long as someone's not already in there, you know?
Yeah, and the one entrance to tower is right here. They have to they're crazy with it and they somehow get through here without you seeing them for this or Nate seeing you from there. This window they have to cross in front of. Well, I guess they can get inside the tower from here really quickly, but you could if they're coming down this way, you're gonna get them no matter what. Because this is like the one way to get into your God, these drawings are just the wackest shit.
If you're sitting right here and you don't die and someone sneaks their way down this alley like that, you're terrible.
Bro.
That takes so long to get down that. But I think just it's kind of weird because it is such a small angle, but it matters so much because I've actually been kind of coming around to the value of ghetto lately. I think it has a lot of interesting potential and it's got some good spots in it. And Embassy South is kind of the control point for ghetto.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. For that reason, I have Embassy South as an A for it. Maybe you're knowing something that gets points retracted, but I like to sit here and get people from off this thing. It's like they'll be coming up the staircase and I'll run this way. As long as I'm here, I can get their head when they're about on this damn thing here. That gives me points. Even standing here and going all the way down and getting someone through this. Well, that's not the most exact line, but that's useful to me. That's where my extra points come from, Embassy. Do you use this at all? Use this guy?
I do somewhat. I'm not normally in the Embassy when I use it. I normally exit Embassy out of this war room, and I'll kind of use this room for it to shoot down that line. Embassy, I think, Embassy South is a great starting point to get into ghetto. I never linger in Embassy South, though, because one of the most important things to win any game, every single game it matters, is field control. If you're giving up 1/3 of the field by just lingering in this back line, you're going to lose that game. I don't care if you're picking people off every once in a while, if you're getting a lot of kills without dying. If you're conceding this big portion of the field, you're going to lose.
I think that's a great point to make, and it's what me and I think a lot of newer regulars don't realize yet that your presence as a regular is so much more valuable than the random average Joe. Sure, they can run out there, but they're going to lose every damn gunfight they're going to get into. Your existence adds more than just like your KD on the screen. I had this, I forget who I was talking with over the week or the weekend, but someone adding extra amount of the kills were like I forget what the score of TDM was. Let's say it was like 75-50, and one person wouldn't happen to be in the game, and it was because that person would normally like get that many kills in a game. That means they thought they could have won still because they would have brought that many extra points in the game. But they are much more than that. They're much more than their kills on the screen. Their presence themselves makes people not go certain places, go to particular places that are more filtered towards, have an effect with just like their voice if they even choose to use it. You guys need to move more. Don't just like think of yourself as like, don't plateau yourself. Think more. See what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%. It befuddles me that people don't move around the field more and are content to playing the same way every single time.
Yeah,
Y'all got no mix.
no mix. Well, if they've had a largely individual experience from day one playing, and they had like one lucky game where they started to figure out their fundamentals a bit more or find like one good spot, that's when they reach like their plateau skill curve. And like, oh, whoa, maybe this is like the height of it. And then sometimes when they play in their different game modes, they'll like that new like dopamine level gets a little bit higher every single time. And then they're like, okay, I'm seeing the improvement without me having to try different things. But they're not trying different things. They're not jumping to this next level and have this better understanding of the map yet. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt though, because a lot of people when they want to come and play on the field, they have to spend a lot of money to play. It's not the most expensive laser tag out there, but it's still $30 or it's $20 if you're an elite member to go in there and just to see the field. And you don't have time to just kind of look around the field and find the angles yourself or watch and study other people play yourself. Your value out there is timed 5 minutes at a time, and you only have that much time to learn. This show can definitely help, and also being a staff member helps. You can walk around the field all you damn please and look around and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 4 years of playtime on me so far, so I guess you it's a slow learn, and you learn some things and then they kind of become irrelevant as metas progress and stuff like that, but you can always kind of go back to them as different options and stuff. That I think one of the big things that people don't use when they're on the field is the ability to, I say, mix people up all the time, to change where you are. And so they'll expect you to be one spot and then you move to another, and you kind of repeat this process over and over again as a way of kind of trapping them and preventing them from killing you while you get to kill them over and over again.
Absolutely. There was a follow up to that, but I forgot what it was going to be.
All right.
That was a good little talk there.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on to this next room, I think I actually have some, oh boy. I have some value on this room. So I think it's the best entrance to Ghetto. I think entering Ghetto from this way is dangerous because even if you're left-handed, you can't turn this corner without being seen first. So anyone standing back here, here, right here, and here, back here, here, and all of these people will see you turning this corner before you'll see them.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's for me, it's the safer way to enter market, but it's not the safer market, the safer way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna get. I feel like every single time I go through this darn door, I'm gonna smash my shoulder into this guy, this doorway. Nate standing right here. There's so much like garbage you gotta dodge to get in here. We got a much better angle seeing in a ghetto. So I'll just concede and go in this way. It much feels a lot better. I'm not running into stuff, and I just gotta hope that someone's standing here covering my entrance in the ghetto. It's faster as well off the rip for if you want to do a ghetto rush for some reason. People do it. I don't.
Yeah, entering this way is definitely fast, but it's not nearly as safe. So I normally will enter through this way if the game is progressed. Once the game starts, I'll enter through the side. But once the game is a minute or so in, I'm going to enter from the start. And you have to use this doorway to. You've got this weird line of sight where you can kind of see all the way down here. So you can kind of use that to safely enter. You got to quickly hug this wall. Use this doorway to check this line of sight. And then you kind of can enter the rest of Ghetto from there. So I think I gave this room a B. Yeah, I gave it a B. I gave it.
Oh,
It's got some good utility to it, but it's not a room I'm ever going to sit in. I can honestly probably put it down to a C. But it's just it's an important room for entering ghetto.
I left it to C for similar reasons as well. Like, I'm not gonna sit in there for very long. Well, in fact, I'm never gonna sit in that room. Like, I don't really ever really see a reason to do it.
Yeah, I
Well,
could.
it's like it's a means of access, a good means of access to the ghetto.
Yeah, I could probably go down a rank, but it is what it is. It's important.
I don't even know what to call this damn room right here.
I don't know, useless.
Yeah, it's
It has
well,
this window, and that window is very good, but the rest of it is useless. I don't. Yeah, it's a D.
yeah. I like. I might sit in there for a frame. Like if I there's one time when I was in a weird goof off session. It has some point. It stays a D for me. I was working my way through ghetto and I came this way and I was like, why the frick am I here? I'm not gonna go this way. Let's just try going in here.
Yeah,
And it worked for a moment, and because I'm right-handed, right, so I can peek out in a weird angle that they're not going to expect from. I got a couple kills that way, but you can also like get your head close to this window right here and look through the cracks and see if any idiots are coming. So like, oh, quick, there's Tom. Blast Tom. Retreat.
so you can't use
Stupid
this
little room.
room. You can't use this room offensively in any sense. So if I'm on breach door side, if and I manage to go all the way around and sneak into this room, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna use this door and kind of use this line of sight? Am I gonna hug this wall and use this line of sight? No matter what I do,
What?
someone just respawns and kills me for free.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's funny. It's a funny little room. I
And
think it's more purpose just to restrict, that make the feeling of ghetto more tight as you're walking in.
yeah, the purpose of it is this window. This window.
Whoa.
Everything besides that is this room is nothing.
Another useless room up next.
I like this room. It's not
What?
very good, but it has more uses than people think. I've
Safecracker, espionage, like tower-based games are my like. Maybe I'll go in there. It'd be
all right,
funny.
yeah, so I gave it a C. It's not anything you want to sit in for very long, but it's an interesting mix-up. So if you're on breach door side and you're sitting like right here, using this line of sight to stop people from getting into ghetto, and kind of transitioning over here to stop people from getting in from this side, uh, it's an interesting spot to retreat into and use this window to cover down here, and you can kind of you can hide in this little corner and use the window to cover the entrance here. So it's an alternate way of looking into ghetto, but it's still kind of bad.
Yeah, I'd rather be like, if I'm pushing from this way, I'd rather be around here looking this way if I'm covering the entrance to ghetto, or I'm even like here next to the tower looking this way. I wouldn't go in here unless I'm looking for the mix-up, stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
I believe it might
normally,
be.
yeah, if I'm playing ghetto, I'll sit here, here, and then maybe if I'm feeling bold, I'll go all the way back here. This room has its uses, but they're not very good.
Computer room. It's room for a gain for being a computer. I like this room to defend ghetto from this way through this window, and like this window right now is closed, but you can like lean here and do one of these for like a little bit just to kill the person that's sitting here. But like this room isn't too crazy to me. Maybe you can like there's also the if you're in here before anyone else, you can use it to cover the entrance of tower pretty well. I'll even stand there as a team leader so I'm out of the way. It's a large amount of space that is taken up by this room. You got to use it somehow to defend the tower from. What do you think about it?
I gave this room a B for the sole purpose of if that front window, this guy right here, well, it's not that big, but if that window is open, the room gains a lot more value. Currently, it's closed, so I think the
And it
room
hasn't
probably
been in a
lingers
while.
around at like a C. But when that window's open, it's a great offensive room because if you're coming from embassy side, you can use that room to get some pot shots down this line of sight. Uh, Offensively from embassy side, there's not much else you could do. You can sit here and you kind of cover people coming in through this window.
It's a big white wall here.
And
You
you
could
can see
splash
people's
the fuck out of
shadow.
anyone.
Yeah, you can see people's shadows coming from this wall, so you can kind of see them coming in this way. So it's kind of hard to get this person out unless you just go upstairs from the top of tower and you just kill them for free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's a
He's a
B.
guy. He's a guy. Oh, we've skipped one. I forgot the tower existed for a moment.
Yeah.
This
So
is the first floor of the tower, by the way. We're gonna move the second floor later.
yeah, bottom floor of the tower. I think I only go in here when I'm shooting the tube. I gave it a C.
Yeah, it has a one entrance,
Wow.
right? But like you're covering the whole thing. I gave it a B just because the tube is in there and there's a couple of different spots you can stand. Recently, I've kind of personally discovered this quirky angle. That one's fun for me. Oh, I fucked this up. Oh god, sure.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I use it a lot when it's kind of a patrol point for me. So when I'm running ghetto, I will be alternating between 3 points, normally back here, this side, and then all the way up front. And sometimes in between, moving between these points, I'll flip in here and I'll use that line of sight just to see if anyone's sitting right here, or I can hear people around here that I can kill. So it has its uses for covering some fringe spots of market, and even for another spot, you can go all the way here and you can see this line of sight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It very defendable, good for games like SWAT because it's hard to get into this window and stuff like that without being shot right away. But there's too many entrances. So if I'm sitting in there, it's hard to defend because I have to watch this window, watch this doorway, and watch the window that's like actually here. It says it's here, but it should be here.
Oh, that is weird. It's weirdly to the.
Yeah. So the spots that you have to cover when you're sitting in there aren't easy to cover all 3 of them. But it's got a tube in it.
Hey, do. Oh, where'd my rank go? He's gone. There he is. Cool.
Yeah.
This room, I determine it is next. Why did I rank this guy so high? Okay, I'm gonna veto that. I must have been drunk. What'd you put him as?
I gave it a C.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I don't know why did I put it so high.
You give this thing an S?
No, I put it as an A, and I'm not sure why I did.
My guess is this window. This window is cute because you can go with it.
There's the Tangos thing where they get a couple of shots on Woodland that's standing right here.
I'll normally just run past that. I don't even bother. I mean, you can... Wow. You can use this window to look all the way down into Embassy South, and I will check it on my way into Ghetto from Breach Door side, and then I will just immediately go into Ghetto from there. It has its use, but...
I remember why I gave it such a high rank. It's because of the deadly quad that is these 4 rooms, in my opinion, from attacking from this side. It's a good place to like grab some respite from if we're doing this angle, right, and you're kind of blasting people there outside the spawn, and you can re-rotate to this when people they try and they get wise and they try and get you in the back. If you're in this room, you can shoot them when they're kind of peeking this little quirky corner to get you, right? You could be there and jump them. And then there's another rotation spot you can get over to here, which you can do like you can be in any of these 4 rooms to get in with the mix up when they're trying to get you out of here. You're spending so much time and resources getting you from the broken room stuff. But we'll get to broken room.
I think you're right, but I have only ever used these 3 rooms. I have never stepped foot in here on the offensive.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's they'll come out this door and they're like, I'm gonna get you, idiot, but you're already like in this corner and you shot them when they were standing here.
Yeah, I think these other 3 rooms just covered so much more space than this one does.
I think I use it very often.
Okay.
Do you want to move the broken room or ghetto corner next?
Let's go to ghetto corner.
He's here.
I think this room is probably the second worst out of that group of 4. I gave it another C.
I gave this guy a D because I'm not sure what you're doing here if you're here.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is this window. It's the rotation between these 3 rooms. Use this window, kill people with this line of sight, and then rotate out into one of the better rooms. But if you're sitting in here and you're like, oh, well, I can just retreat all the way back in this corner, I'm going to bank shot you off this wall.
Yeah.
This wall is so incredibly reflective, you're just going to die.
Silly little guy. I may be thinking about it just from attacking from this perspective. Whoa. From this perspective, coming this way. If you manage to weasel your way in here, but like I was thinking about like, what if you're on this side and going that way? Why the frick frack are you back here? What's your purpose? I don't know why you could be here. Besides, you're on a defensive. You're being a scoundrel rat, being in the quad corner of death.
Yeah, the room is not that good. Standing like here, I think is just better.
Yeah, I've done it before. You just kind of get the idiots
Yeah,
that
shoot
are
through the
in their
window, shoot
spawn.
through here. You can rotate here, 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 here. You've got so many places to run. If you're putting yourself in this corner, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's silly. This room right here, this room has a special place in my heart. I think you're gonna rank it much less than me. It's not an S. It's a big ol' A for me.
I gave it a
But
B.
where'd you give it a B?
I like
So
this
back
room.
in the day, this used to be like a crazy spot. Because back when like the broken room was first discovered as like a spot to defend from, this darn window was a great place to shoot people in the back because people are it's such a hard angle to re-peek them at coming from this way, and you could shoot people climbing up the staircase when they're in the back. This was like it was coined the fuck you corner way back in the day,
Oh, was
and
it?
people loved being back there. That was like their favorite room to be with the M4s. I'm not sure why now. So I think it would be higher. I think I'm going to lean more towards a B, but I'm going to stick with my A for now because I'm biased and old.
I think the value from this room, I mean, obviously you can have this nice line of sight, which is good, but the value comes from the fact that you're able to watch the staircase.
Yeah,
Preventing people from getting upstairs and preventing people from getting on top of tower matters a lot more than just kind of a weird, not like pseudo spawn trap.
yeah. It's because they're so excited about getting upstairs for free, and like they don't see anyone here, and then they'll climb halfway up the staircase and waste some of their stamina getting up there. You get shot in the back, and then oh man, they demoralize them a little bit, and it feels good to shoot them when they're halfway up the stairs. Sometimes you let them climb all the way up the stairs, and then shoot them when they're about here, and then idiot, walk all the way back down.
Yeah, I think the problem with this room comes from the fact that once you're in there, you're kind of stuck. Rotating out of this room is really hard because you have to run back here. And in order to do so, this window will kill you so many times because you can't check it when you're in this room.
No, you can't.
So if
You gotta
someone
check it when you're about
is
here,
just
and this would be
waiting for
here.
you here and you try and leave, you're dead.
And that's uncommon. I've definitely rotated that room before, but I think that's the like one of the big ways you're going to get blasted from, unless you're just someone's here and they're like really spiteful waiting for you, or even through this window here.
All right. Moving on to
This,
Broken Room, I think.
yeah, sure,
Broken Room is one of the few rooms I gave an S.
yeah. I'm glad you did as well.
I mean, the room has its problems, and that's the fact that there's a window here and a window here, which you're not normally going to watch. You have to be aware of, but you don't watch them all the time. And obviously, you have this ridiculous line of sight with cover right here, which I don't value a ton from just killing people. The fact that it like actually prevents people from getting up the stairs because there's no way in hell you can get all the way up the stairs without killing me is
Without
incredibly
doing anything.
valuable. And the fact that you can retreat out of it so easily. If I just sprint up the stairs up tower, I'm gone. Like you have to have someone like
Yeah,
sitting exactly here to stop that.
it's really awesome for that, and also this room is such a. Let me get rid of this. This little like break in it is provides such crazy cover. All the other rooms are like 90-degree angles and stuff. This one is like one of the only rooms that has like this weird angle in it unless you're hiding behind a barrel. And it shelters like so many of your sensors from it. Like you have a sensor behind the wall. I don't know why I'm trying to illustrate this in such a tiny paper. But you can have your sensors in place just such a way where just your gun sensor, your right shoulder, and maybe like some head sensors are peeking out the side there, and you could be just so deadly and hard to get out from just like this angle. And you're right, like I've definitely done this a couple of times where like you swoop and I get the frick out of there, or I'm even out of this way. I don't know why you go back in the ghetto. Like getting up the tower is pretty valuable too.
Yeah, the room just even these windows can be used offensively. You can look into this window from there. You can see like a terrible line of sight here. If you're like all the way scrunched up in this corner, every part about this room has some offensive capability, and even using it defensively. So you're on breach door side, kind of lingering right here. If you're a lefty, especially looking down the angle here is really good. Grants immediate access. If this window's open, you can see through that. You can get up, Mark. You can get up there. There's so many. This room has so many spots that it's usable.
So many little options for it that are just awesome. This room is crazy. And but the punishment is, well, the buy for it is you have to do this maneuver right here from into here, or some people do this one that is quick enough because they're only like exposed from this little thing, and if they're in there, but they fucking know you're in there. Yeah, it's hard to get in there sometimes, depending on who's there, but I think I can get better at getting in there.
Yeah, no, it's very, very useful, incredibly offensive room.
Moving on around towards the burlap sack room. I don't know what in tarnation this room could be used for. I'm gonna give it a C real quick.
Yeah, I gave it a C as well.
It's
It's got this window where you can peek all. It used to be like this big thing. Everybody used to like lean out this window, and then you could shoot down
what?
that. Everyone used to lean out this window and then shoot down this. I think there's a board at the bottom of it right now that like kind of prevents you from doing that. I don't remember, but it's like a thing everyone used to do, and they would just because it's this weird line of sight because the map's once again not drawn perfectly where this the front of this staircase is actually like here.
Oh,
So
you can use
it's
it as cover.
yeah, it's like this weird pseudo cover. You can use this line of sight to, I mean, you cover back ghetto.
You're like
I
really
mean,
grasping at straws for this poor broom.
this window, it doesn't do anything.
I don't think I've ever shot anyone through that window ever.
I don't know. That
What does it
windows,
do? What does it do? It's this? Why? What if you're standing here?
yeah,
You can look through this into a wall, and
it's got
this
some
window should be like here or
it's got some
something.
defensive purposes. Like Juggernaut sitting here isn't bad. Cover the back pretty good. I'd rather just do it from like I don't know here, here, here. But
This,
it's got its uses, but man, they're pretty few and far between.
I mean, imagine if the room wasn't there though, and there was this scoundrel in the back corner. It would leave your whole spawn. Like how? Like is that what we count as points as a room? Like if this room doesn't exist, it'd be so many more ways of accessing your spawn that shouldn't be there. It's generally just a big cover room. It conceals a lot of the spawn area.
Yeah,
It's hard to think about the map without that room being there, but man, he's there.
it's there. It doesn't have offensive capabilities. It doesn't. It has like niche defensive capabilities. I mean, the walls are important, obviously, to prevent spawn camping, but the room itself doesn't do much.
Uh, but my favorite room of all time is up next. It's this guy right here. This room is just absolutely crazy. I love this thing.
Yep, I think it is the probably the worst room on the field. I
Bro,
I have tried so hard to make this room good. The best thing I can find that you can do with this room is stand in this corner and you can see this line of sight. You get like this much. You get
it
like
seems
this
better if you're
little
left-handed.
you got that little line of sight right there. I mean, besides that, you can cover the back ghetto from this window, or kind of like that, or I guess it's this window, but whatever. I don't know
Yeah,
why you would ever go in here. Zero offensive capabilities, purely defensive, and not the best at that because you get these very, very small lines of sight that once someone runs past that, your little line of sight, you're like, oh, well, I'll get him next time.
I think you could totally knock down, like cutting off here, cut off here. Just get rid of this whole corner of this room, and it'd be just a better spawn area with more space in it. You could do some other crazier garbage. Looking, I don't know what you'd do. I just some walls I just want to knock down, but no way we're gonna knock down any big walls like that. These walls have been a part of this field for so long. People been talking about knocking down the this room down here. This guy.
I like that guy. That's my quirky little room, man. Leave him alone. You gave it an O?
Yep.
All right.
There.
I don't want to do the spawn.
I gave that spawn actually a C, but he can be there.
I don't want to do it.
Let's not talk about him.
I've just decided I don't want to do it. This
So this
room,
room is so swag.
I gave it an S.
This room is so cool. I gave it an A, right? Because it's you're still on this side of the map, right? If you're using it, but there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I'm sure Alex has many more he could talk about. He freaking loves this room.
I love
The
this room.
sniper tower in here is crazy. If you lean your head back, you can get people that are climbing up the staircase. Your stomach will climb up the staircase. You can lean over the side of the thing and shoot through the doorway here in a quirky little angle. It's really hard to shoot people out of.
All right, so the
You
big
can
thing, yeah, the big thing obviously about that sniper tower is it covers all of all of this. You see all of that upstairs, which is so crazy important.
if you cheat, you can do all this too.
Yeah, that's cheating, and if you stand up on the bars, I'll kill you.
It'll be really funny.
Your life will end. And the other cute little thing you can do, so they got the sniper tower. You can peek your little,
Oh my god.
peek my little gun down the. I think you can see what I'm. You can.
Not at all.
Okay, well, you can lean over the railing of the sniper tower. And you can actually see through this little tiny little corner right here, and you can gun down all of this.
Stopping the angry street sweepers.
Yep, you
They're
can
coming.
cover street very well. You can cover the enemy sniper tower. Like you're doing this from like this tiny little like you can. It's like all you can see. Get rid of all my garbage. All you can see is like this this little peak of you. That's all of you that there is, and you're covering all of this.
But the punishment of other some room rules would get some rules would give you. For example, if you're here in your broken room and you're looking down this way, you've exposed yourself from this direction. And the these different angles you're looking out of this room, you've sheltered yourself from that previous angle. So if you're on top of a tower and you're looking down this way, like, oh, I want to transfer myself looking down the street, you lean over the side and you've now sheltered yourself from people that are on top of market trying to shoot you. And it has these different ways you could do that and still have cover and still be offensive when you choose to be and peek them pretty safely when you want to re-peek them.
Yeah, and the defensive capability, or not the defense. Well, yeah, but the cover you get from this room is ridiculous. So if I'm shooting upstairs, if I'm covering that area upstairs, you can't shoot me from North Embassy. I can walk my little ass down another step to the point where my head is not exposed or my gun not exposed over this wall here, and you can't shoot me from North Embassy, and I can see upstairs completely. So if I'm shooting upstairs, the only way you can kill me is upstairs or to get into my spawn, which at that point things have already gone badly. And if you're leaning over the railing, the only way you can die is from people in North Embassy. You can't kill me from upstairs.
There's also a maneuver from if you're starting on this side and you manage to weasel your way all the way through mansion, excuse me, and then it's just one more step of getting the hideout and getting across into here without anyone seeing you. You can be inside this room in their sniper tower, and you can delete anyone that's up on here looking this way from their sniper tower, also killing a Juggernaut if you haven't been playing that game. It's a crazy little room, crazy little guy.
Yeah, I mean, people do try and do that to get in from Embassy side, use that room to like kill the Juggernaut and stuff like that. I get up there pretty often. A lot of the times the Juggernauts have adapted to the point where they're not standing up anymore, which is a shame, but it has had uses to do that in the past. Very useful.
Kill Aravan from there if he's going to be in his patented spot.
You can.
Yeah.
You very much can. All right, I think we're moving on to the market.
Yeah, you want to do downstairs first?
Let's do downstairs first, and then we can do all of upstairs, including tower, after.
Yeah. So we'll start with the downstairs of this room here. Quick little jaunt away. This room, what did I give it? I gave it a D. First floor, by the way. First floor. I'll delete all my rankings later.
I gave it a C.
It's I don't like sitting here in this corner on the first floor. I won't even stand in it unless this window's open. It's a really weird angle to be in. This side of lower market's just better to be in. If you're over here, I don't know why you'd be in this room. What's the purpose of it?
Uh, I will never use it defensively. It's kind of an offensive side. So if I'm on embassy side, I'll sneak in here, and you can sit here, and you get this weird line of sight. But much like a lot of the rooms in lower market, it's all about moving in between them. You don't want to sit in one room for a long time. You got this whole area to. You can run around constantly doing circles, sitting in different spots every single time.
Yeah, I think that's of the lower market rooms. I think that one just happens to be my least favorite.
Oh, you can also shoot the bell from right here.
Yeah, that is some points. But who's shooting the bell in Hell's Bells, anyways?
I've
Playing
been
them,
doing
playing.
it lately, but I don't like that game anyways.
I think
Next
that
round.
spot. Next room, we gotta speed this up. Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Clockwise.
Ooh.
This room's good. I gave it an A.
Yeah, I gave this room an A too. This room's crazy.
Windows, good. You can see into ghetto from here. That's funny.
Yep.
This window is currently closed, so offensively, this room is crazy. You can sit in here. You get the line of sight here. You can peek out here, which I never do, but you can, and get this line of sight. You're never going to die if you're just sitting in there. Great SWAT room. Really good SWAT room.
This corner is really good for looking down this, or what's
Yep.
the angle? That, but like you've exposed yourself to this push,
Yeah.
so you only have to stand there for a bit. That's great. It's like through this window, through this doorway, through this window, through this window, through this doorway, through this window. It's whack.
Good room.
It's crazy. Aravan's room, patented, will never change in my mind. He
Uh,
hasn't been in this room since 2013, but it's still called his room.
A. This room is an A.
This room is also an A. There's a reason he's standing there. It is in this
Offensive.
corner here.
Yeah, offensive from breach door side. You got there's a little weird wall right here, and you can just go shooting out there. This window is cool because this window is open, so you can go and shoot down into ghetto.
Just whack, stepping over a bit. You can defend yourself by one quick pan if you're standing behind that aforementioned corner you're at, and defend yourself from people walking in this way. It's really hard to get. They're really trying to get you, and they're coming through this way, right?
Yeah.
From the previous side when they've dedicated themselves to running down the street.
Yeah, you can
from
see
Embassy.
you can see both entrances to market from here. That's powerful.
That's powerful.
And
Great place to be.
once again, with all of the rooms in lower market, you can rotate in between them very freely, which makes them good. I gave this one a B.
Wow, we're nailing it here. We're B here as well. I mean, it's just not as good as Aravan's room. You've dedicated to moving over a little bit closer to the entrance. You've lost sight of this entrance to market down here now, but you can tuck yourself in this corner and watch this window if it's open.
Yeah,
More people going in the ghetto that
I
way.
view it very similar as I view garden, where it's kind of just worse than patio. So this is my patio. This is my garden. I can rotate into garden to get a quick kill and then try and rotate back into patio. But I'm not gonna stay in this room. I'm gonna linger in the room before it more.
It is a good staging area if you want to do a quick sweep, right? You could peek out a little bit and then, oh, no one's here. Okay, maybe I'll dedicate to it. Behind this little barrier guy here. You can go up the staircase or back in the mansion if you're feeling froggy. That's generally the way you're gonna do it. I wouldn't sweep from this direction.
Right.
From this way out.
Anyway, this room, I like this room. I gave this room another B, but I like this room.
I gave this one an A.
I probably could have. Yeah.
This corner is crazy.
This window is good. This window is bad.
This window's bad.
This window kills you. This window is the window you have to be careful of. You don't use this window offensively. You use this window as, oh god, when are they going to peek this window?
I can never get them if they're in this corner, but you've now cut them off if you peek forward. But then what you want to do is kind of wait here and keep watching this, and you want to hope someone comes in from this way and guns them at the same time. And you can either peek through this and get them, but this window is going to be the die. But this window, you mentioned this window, right? But the window next to it that's always blocked off by that pallet thing, it's like a little bit of
Yeah, you
an
can.
extension to it where you can get people like this.
And this.
Yeah, it's really thin. There's no way they're gonna get you for it. I've been using it more and more recently, where you can just
Yeah.
get the idiot that's standing here for some reason.
Very easy to retreat further into market, into a better room, which is this one.
The China room.
Very good room.
Lower market is crazy, but like I've hurt myself so many times in there. I've started to leave.
That room's an S.
Room's an A again. This angle is just schwack.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got 2 windows here, which let you see the rest of the entirety of market. So I can see everything that's going on over here and over here. I can see everything that's going on in here.
it's the first line of defense for people that are coming in through this way. They're gonna go into this room, and since that China wall is like in the middle of the room, you can be on either side of it, and it's always, always, always so dark in there.
I can see
It's
this guy that's standing up here. He's
yeah.
upstairs.
Thanks for the illustration there. If you
Oh,
crouch down to that window, yeah, you could totally lean into that and just get them. But there's that little tarp you got to watch out for. It's right here, I think, or maybe it's over here. I don't know. I think it's touching in both spots. The little
and
thing is stopping you from seeing much of it.
it's also good from both sides. So using this window, you can see this wall here, and you can see shadows, and you bank shot them super easily. You see this entrance here, and from this corner, you see this entrance here. So both sides of the field, this room is crazy.
This room is like when I first came back, is like my new love. I've stepped away from it now because I realized the rest of the potential of the field is. I've given it a B for this,
I gave it an
but
A.
I like this for this angle. Right now the window's closed, but this was one of my favorite angles when I first came back. I was like, whoa, I can't believe this is still here. This is cool. They're walking in there for UBL, and they're like finding their little spots. They're just getting blasted from me like shooting through the windows and doors of that thing.
This is a very offensive room. I don't use this one defensively at all. But like the angles you get, if this window's open, you can shoot down here. If this window's open, you can shoot down here. It's so hard to get you out because you just kill them over and over again. Once they finally use their 3 seconds, you can just retreat into the better room over here and then kill them that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good room. It's got a lot of utility. You can rotate across if you want to. I don't really know why you would, but you can.
Okay. That is lower market. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control Z a bunch of times so we can do the upstairs of market.
Yep.
Whoa! Oh, like it's forgotten.
Yep.
I can't go back any further. Oh,
I
well.
can't either. Can I erase
Upstairs
things?
now. I've tried. That's what I was my thing. What? Quick, erase everything for me.
I can only erase my stuff.
That's cool.
Suffer.
This is what I get.
That's cool. All right. So what room are we doing first? That top one?
Yeah, top right there. I'll just rotate the same way around.
Okay. Top right?
No, top. We'll stop. Okay,
That guy.
we'll start there.
This guy. This
Yeah,
guy.
that
We're
guy.
doing that guy. This room's good. Good. Big A.
Big A as well. I love this room for this angle here, coming up the staircase there. I've deleted my A. This is a great place to be for Juggernaut. This corner's good. This one, not so much. I like being here for this. You can cover all of the top of marketplace, or not all of it, but like so much damn chunk of it from that room.
Yeah. You see
You can
lower
rotate to this
market.
angle.
You see lower market. The rotation from this room to this room to this room is crazy. You get so much value out of all of this. Very powerful.
Yeah, this.
I will
I'm trying to
never
think of
tell
what we wrote
anyone
this
it, but
one.
I have this really cool bank shot that I figured out where I can hit the person in sniper tower. I won't show it to anyone, but I have it. Beware.
It's in his pocket. Look out. If he's on the other team, he's coming for you. Do not go in that tower. I want to go ahead and rotate up to this one here. I can't illustrate more of it. This one I gave it an A as well, just because of the rotations between this guy. I love, love, love just being here and looking down the staircase, or here, but that isn't the same room. Even just leaning over this edge, just going down that. It's just I like doing that a
Yeah.
lot.
So my from or for not breach door, yeah, breach door side. These three are my favorite rooms. Everything else is I don't really like, but these three just like have so much defensive and like they're defensive because you're covering your back half of the field, as well as offensive because you can see so much from the top of market. Because if you're here, you can see people rushing down here. If you're here, you can see people trying to enter market here and here.
From the street thing, though, I think that's more restricted to this guy here. That it's like this damn tarp's in the way, and it's kind of hard to see them when they're coming through this thing. But this room, I think, is better for the street sweepers.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this room. I think this is where you start getting close to that line where you're I don't like crossing like this imaginary line upstairs because I think these two rooms offensively are scary because that's where you start to die when you're upstairs. The point of upstairs is holding upstairs and the value you get from being up there. And in order to hold upstairs, you want to stay alive. So that's what I do in these three rooms.
Yeah, I've been punished so often thinking I could do one of these angles, and I'll just get like annihilated because of it.
Yeah, you'll
If
get
I
like a
get
couple
into
kills and then
these,
you'll just die. And then you'll lose upstairs and you won't be able to get back up there.
you wanna keep it once you have it. Like don't wanna. Sure, everyone has that little bit of greed in their soul where they want to lean over the side and get their kills for it, but you got to be patient with up there. You'll get the kills will come to you from the darn staircase.
Yeah, I give it a C. The big thing that you can do is sit here. Oh my god. Is sit here and kind of lean out every once in a while and cover the staircase as well as cover the street. But you're trapped. You've trapped yourself here because you can't watch the sniper tower, and this is the spot where you have someone in the sniper tower, kind of leaning backwards, so they're like back here, and then once this person eventually wants to move, they die. So you kind of restrict yourself to not being able to move around as much upstairs, and that's bad. Because
Yeah,
I'll sit here, and once I kill this idiot, I'll go upstairs and I'll take upstairs from them, and they won't be able to get back up there.
yeah. It's I love sitting here though and looking at this angle and leaning over and covering the stairs. But you're right. You once you've chosen the spot, this is your home now. You cannot peek ever again once they've figured out you're standing there because they will just get you from that sniper tower.
All
It
right,
sucks. I wish it was better.
this room is not bad. I gave it another C. Things that you can do from this room that are actually valuable is sit right here. You can't get shot from here, from the sniper tower. The sniper tower does not have a line of sight on you because you're like hugging this wall. And you can actually shoot down here into the entrance of patio. So you can see the door entrance here and the entrance here. So you can cover all of mansion basically from people trying to get into it. You've got like the very beginning of street covered. You can't enter street.
I think that spot specifically you're talking about is the first spot I ever discovered on the field.
Good spot.
Like, is like, whoa, I can see this, but it was like my third game ever, so I never really knew how this realized how to use it. But I was also working at the time, so I had a better macro understanding of the field. I realized the value of that spot, but it's since the garden opened up, it's much harder to do because what they would do is they come through this, leave around, and right about here you'd get them because they have to go through the patio entrance to get in there. I wish I could delete this B.
Yeah, so I
Different spot
think
for next time.
it's a very good spot. The problem is I can never you never stay alive long there because you can cover the staircase and eventually people are just going to kill you because they'll run up the stairs enough and just kill you. And that's the thing about dying upstairs is you never want to do it. You want to stay alive as long as you can up there.
Yeah, I like this room a lot. It's actually one of my few S's for this room. Controversially, yes, but like, I think the staircase is definitely a part of this room. And leaning over the staircase, I've had some good success with. I've learned from Woodland, and I think stopping people from getting inside of the mansion from this way is very doable from this staircase because you can lean over enough where you can see almost like this and get a couple shots of them if they're being just slow enough. This window is also super powerful because of this pipe that's damn near on the other side. You can shoot in between the wall and the pipe and get people like that. This is, well, it's the main entrance to the marketplace from this side, but I think this is a great defensive spot for it. I don't want to cross this to be in one of these rooms over here for it, so that's one of my few S's for it. Rotates it over here as well.
Yeah, I think if you're counting the stairs, I think the value mostly comes from the stairs. I think the value, if I'm on embassy side, I'm never gonna sit in this room, never ever, because you'll just die from the sniper tower for free.
Don't expose yourself to that. But if you just sit here enough, if like you can kind
If
of
you're
wait for
leaning out
someone
of
to get
if
the
you're
sniper
leaning out of
tower.
this window, then I'll kill you from the sniper tower. But if you're
Sure.
not leaning off this window and you're sitting here, you're kind of doing nothing else. So even if you're not leaning out the window and you're shooting people out like this angle, you can still get bank shot on that window and die. The staircase is valuable though.
I wish all these rooms had like numbers or names. I've been talking about this for a minute. It's like name everything and have a label for everything. I'm not sure what I'd call
There's a lot of rooms.
these two rooms. I'd call
Uh,
them individually.
yeah. So this guy is another C. No,
See?
I lied. This guy is an A. I'm looking at something else.
No, this I actually also gave an A. I like this angle for watching the lower market for people coming in. It's a great place where you can get people through this window here to stop people coming up the staircase. It's a great control spot to be. It's I like this spot a lot. I've gotten a lot of kills from this right here.
Yeah, yeah. No, so I this is defensively. If I'm on embassy side, this is the spot I'm going to be upstairs the majority of the time. The amount of market you can see from here is crazy. The amount of mansion and patio and garden, so you can kill all the idiots that think patio and garden are good rooms. You can kill people entering market. You can see the staircase. You can even see people's shadows, like right here. So you just start blasting that wall when you see them start coming up, and they die.
It's cool. I'm gonna do that one. I didn't know about that one. Where are you standing here? Like going through this window, or are you going through this one?
I'm normally sitting back here because I don't want to be exposed to the sniper tower. You got to avoid this, and you want to kind of linger in this area here so you don't get yourself totally exposed to lower market, but you're able to still shoot it. And then every once in a while, I'll rotate over here, and then I'll rotate over here. It's a big rotation spot. I'm not sitting in one place up there very often.
Cool. Next up, this guy. What did I do for here? Does not deserve that.
I gave it another A.
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 I actually gave this one a B. I find myself like trapped here in this corner. I see people do it all the time. It's a great angle to cover the staircase from, but like the other spots to lean over this, and like you'll never see anyone coming through this way. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever really gotten a kill like this. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Lean
so
over this guy.
you don't watch this area. In fact, this is the area you should be scared of because people entering here are the people that'll kill you. Besides that, it's good for. I kind of linger. I linger more out when I'm covering the staircase because you can cover the staircase here. But the better way to cover the staircase from this room is actually sitting in this little corner, where you can watch market majority. You've got this weird like there's obviously the thing that hangs here, and there's this stupid pair of pants
Draw.
that
Nice illustration of pants.
that covers you so you can look down market, and then through this window you can see the back wall here, and once again that's that splash zone, that splash city, baby.
I've never tried that. That's awesome. I want to try that.
Splash city, baby.
Splash City. Accept Splash City into your lives, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be scared of Splash City. Splash City is something you can take advantage of, love, and learn and respect.
This guy is not the greatest, but it has its uses. I've got a big B.
Big old B. I gave this one a big old A. I like this one.
So the
I
thing
like
about this one is it's very usable from both sides. I like to sit on if I'm using this room offensively and I'm on embassy side, I'll sit right here, and I can watch people coming upstairs, or I can watch people coming up tower, and I can watch people coming upstairs. And every once in a while, I'll peek this window. I can see into lower market here and here. Not very great offensively. You won't get a lot of kills here using it from embassy side, but you can just kind of lock down all of top market very easily, which is obviously very important for a lot of games. And if you're using it from breach door side, you lean out this window, got this covered. Sit in this stair, sit right here, and you got these stairs covered. And that's about it, but still very powerful. Once again, keeps the market locked down and just random pseudo angle into ghetto.
What we've seen here is that the top of Marketplace, ladies and gentlemen, is a crazy, crazy place to be. If you are able to climb stairs, please climb the stairs and utilize the top of Market. We've got to develop this area's meta. It's already been developed a lot, but more can still be done. This place is wacko mode. It's a big centerpiece for the map. Explore it, figure out what's going on. Some people just don't go up there. Go up there. It's incredible up there. You've seen the world, and you've seen the stars, and right now we're seeing the top of tower.
Yep, it is it. The last room is the top of tower. I have done everything possible to make this room playable. I play this room second to Mac 20. Is the only other person that goes on top of this building more than I do. Offensively, if you can get up there, that thing's an S. If you can get up there. If you're using it defensively, it's like a C, but is still usable. Overall, I give it an A.
This one is actually another one of my few S's. I love the top of tower since you've shown it to me. Climbing up this staircase and doing this is cool. This is cool. If you stand just about here, let me redo this here. This is a much better angle than coming forward on top of tower to get people from it. We've all heard of the tried and true mysteries of the backwards tower maneuver. Do you want to share that or leave that one to secret?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I do it
cool
whenever I have the chance, which is not a lot because you have to get to this staircase, which is hard because you get killed from here, 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 here.
It's getting worse.
You get killed from a lot of spaces trying to get up there. But if you can fight your way up there, this spot right here is good for 10 kills and you will die.
My first natural godlike happened from here is like domination. Actually, King of the Hill specifically. My first godlike I got right here just from getting people when they're climbing the staircase. That almost focused on getting this damn tube right here in like a full session for some reason, playing King of the Hill in a full session. Managed to weasel my way up there and climbing the stairs over and over again. Bam, 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 bam. And my team just won big mode because it was so swag. So I love the top of tower.
Powerful room.
Powerful stuff. Well, we started this this podcast a bit late, but it looks like we still managed to run later than normal. So that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to our top 15 for the week. Let's see who we got. Starting off at number 1, we have Sniper 17. Going down the list, Quicks, Specs, Mama 82, Chief, Glue Eater, Unicorn Rage, Milkman, Killer of the Criers, Wakened by a Sheep, Jailer, Frog Champ, J Vito, Aravan, and Dummy.
The main thing I like to point out for these ones is that Quicks is quickly gaining on poor Zach. Zach's Vegas trip is starting to get the hold of him, and he is falling down to the power of Quicks, return from the grave in his new gun. Next things up. Go ahead.
I just real quick pointing out that Dummy does have the second lowest KDR on there. Good job to Dummy. Good job.
That's cool. 1.99. That's cool. Good job.
Second lowest. Good work, buddy. You're really getting
Sniper
there.
17, Quicks, and Specs. Notice they're all like the 1,000 kill range. In fourth place is Mama with like 500 kills. I like how many points. Like there's a big jump between fourth to third place. Those three are really like our big 3 contenders this last week, and it's been crazy out there.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come in this weekend. Saturday was another really busy day, so it was cool to see a lot of people playing.
Oh, Unicorn Rage only played like what 2-3 sessions, and he's in 7th place.
Played,
the return of Kyle.
Four sessions because he was trying to finish off his 4 stars. So good for him completing his 4th star. Chief getting his first. And then we got a lot of other people that are getting close. Waken's at 47, Quick's 42. I know Skull Taker's getting close. There's several others that I'm forgetting about.
Oh, Waken. Waken 47, that's cool. You're here, Waken. Let's get in here. A few more sessions, you're done. You never have to play laser tag ever again. Cool, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's going to call it for this week. This is a 90-minute episode. I guess you guys got more for us starting late, so cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go ahead and scroll on down, check out the Discord. Come join the Discord. I'm probably going to try and get another giveaway to happen next week. Just decided that now. I think it's been a while for that. Maybe I can get another free pass going or something similar like that. It'd be cool. Otherwise, see you guys next week. Yeehaw laser tag.
All right, I won't see any of you guys this weekend, but I will be back the week after, and as well for the podcast. I'll be here next week for the podcast still.
He's gonna go 0-7 in a Frosty Faustling's fighting game tournament.
True. 0-6. Here I come.
See you guys.
We are going. There is 2 teams that already have a round 1 bye. Those teams being Damien's team and not Woodlands. Damien and Specs. Damien and.
What are your thoughts so far, Simpson?
I'm gonna fucking hang Braylon from the rafters. But besides that, this has been really fun.